The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Yule. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle, where you can access your full potential right now. Finally break free from destructive habits. That dream life, if you want it, you can have it. This is where you transform your health, mind, business, and relationships. Or do nothing and keep your life the way it is. But if you're ready for change, you're in the right place. This is where you're gonna learn how to live a habit-based lifestyle. You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Yule. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.
All right. What's up, everybody? Caleb with Habit-Based Lifestyle. And here today, we're actually going to be talking with Steven Vincent from Total Health and Wellness Center in Amarillo, Texas. So what's up, Steven?
Man, things are going good. I'm excited about being on this particular interview because we've had some really crazy results, and I just can't wait to talk about it.
Heck yeah, man. Well, let's just jump like right into it. So why don't you just start off with like telling us, introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about your business and what you do.
Okay. So the Total Health and Wellness Center is a chiropractic-based practice here in Amarillo. We've owned and operated this for over 11 years now. We started out really just dealing with normal chiropractic things like working on the back and neck and those types of things, just adjusting patients. But then I knew that a lot of the reasons why my patients were struggling with chronic pain was that they were overweight, and there wasn't really any good option for them to help them lose weight. All of their doctors were telling them to lose weight, but nobody was helping them. So I decided to try to figure out how to be a solution for that problem. And we developed a really cool weight loss program, and we started helping our patients get really good results. Started working so well that they were referring people. We decided we wanted to start marketing for that. Our program really grew a lot until 2017, which was our biggest year, where our practice collected a little over $940,000 cash collected in the year. So we had almost hit $1 million practice. And so about half of that was weight loss and nutrition. So Wow. It was a big part of our practice. Then over 18 and 19, we had changed some things within our practice, changed some things in our marketing. Things started to kind of fall away. At the end of 2019, I was really struggling with our weight loss program, mainly because I had lost passion in it, and it was struggling and it was too complicated. So we canceled all of our marketing for weight loss at the end of 2019. None of us knew what was going to happen with 2020. So we kind of just were thankful that we weren't outlaying all that money on marketing. But what I noticed through 2020 was that my current patients that were still coming in were all gaining a little bit of weight. And I knew they were going to come asking me for help when all of this kind of blows over. So we kind of decided we needed to revamp our program and figure out how to re-implement it. So we did. And then, but our weight loss program had really kind of shrunk to nothing at that point. We weren't really making any money at that point. And then that's when I got introduced to HBL, and the rest is history kind of after that.
Okay, sweet. So before you joined us at Habit-Based Lifestyle, over the past like 4 years, your business saw super big success and then start to dwindle downwards from there, right?
Right.
Okay.
And 2020 was, I mean, it was definitely a bad year overall. We still floated, but I mean, weight loss was next to nothing. Even chiro was very slow during that time. Just because people were, leery about what to do, how to spend their money.
Yeah.
So this has been a big boost to us implementing this new program.
Okay. So coming into Habit-Based Lifestyle, what type of results have you seen with your practice after 2017 going up like super, almost hitting $1 million in your practice, and then not being able to hit that again, and then kind of sliding downwards, but making it through COVID? What kind of results have you seen now after implementing our system into your business?
Yeah, so we joined in July, I believe.
Okay.
Started going through the material in July, trying to learn, the basics of the system, and the coaching along with the staff at Habit Based have been really good because they've been really good at pushing me along. It usually takes me a little bit longer to implement things, but they really pushed me into getting it moving. And so actually it was June that we started, because July was our best month. So June's when I joined.
Okay.
And so for $1 million practice, I need to collect like 83,000 in a month, every month, to get $1 million. So I knew that number was there. So in June, we're really kind of working on the background, getting this all set up, the way HBL's set up. I'm doing kind of that background stuff, getting it ready. Well, then in at the end of June, we launched this thing, launched the process, and then July, we hit 83,000 in collections.
Wow.
So we had been steady hitting 45 to 50,000. Haven't changed in almost 2 years from that number. And then in July, right after joining, we hit 83. The crazy thing is 33,000 of that was directly correlated to my results with HBL. So when you take that away, we hit our normal 50 like we would have, but then we added 33,000 on top of it, strictly from what Habit-Based Lifestyle does.
That's crazy.
Oh,
so in
insane.
May, you're doing 40 to 50 consistently over the past 2 years. So 2 years of just staying stagnant in your practice, which is still really good, right?
It's great. I can't complain.
Well, I mean, obviously you have higher ambitions than that. In 1 month, from June when you signed up, learning our system, July, you go on to adding $38,000 just to your bottom line, so you're able to hit that $1 million practice.
Right.
Is that right?
And it's crazy. And I knew that after talking with the coaches about all of this, they said, now typically we can have some really good results initially because there's a lot of low hanging fruit there. But after that, we got to actually get down and grind and do the work. Well, so even the next month in August, 14,000 in addition to what we normally would collect, 14,000 came in just off of our weight loss and nutrition. And in September, we're sitting at about 8,000 so far. So total, we're right at like 55,000 cash collected. That's actual money changing hands with this just since we started. Now, we also have about 15,000 out in payments that have not actually crossed the table yet. So really, we're looking at about 70 grand total once it's all said and done, which, I mean, I never thought would have happened in this amount of time.
Heck yeah. So
it's crazy.
if you had to attribute like 1 to 3 things, like big things that really helped you gain that success in such a short amount of time, what would you say that was? Whether it had to do with what we helped you do or mindset shift that you had on your like through this program, like what would you attribute that success to?
The simplicity of the actual process. And that's something that the coaches have been working with me a lot. I tend to overcomplicate things really easily. That's just my demeanor. I like to make things complicated. But with the way they've built this system, it's simple, and you just have to follow it and do the work. But the work is simple. The instructions are simple. The video content is not complicated. And so if you just keep it simple through the process, the results speak for themselves. I'm a simple man. I live in a simple community. And if it works for me, I don't see who it couldn't work for. I've already sent several people to the HBL system, and they've bought into it as well. Because I can't think of an industry where this process wouldn't work. That's something I've really tried. I've tried to think, all right, who would this not work for?
Yeah.
Because the system is so simple, it would technically work for every industry.
Yeah. And
but
actually,
I would say that the biggest attributing thing would just be the simplicity.
The simplicity.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that it wouldn't work for is any person that's not willing to do the work. Anyone that doesn't want to make more money, anyone who doesn't want to do the work, it won't work, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's actually Jesse, when he first started this, he actually tested this amongst a dozen industries at one time during COVID. So,
Right.
and all of his clients actually were more busy during COVID than they were before COVID because of how simple the system was.
But seeing my results right now, I totally believe what you're saying. I mean, it would totally make sense.
So, like, what are some unexpected results that you didn't even know that you would get, either inside of business or outside in your personal life, that you've gotten from this program?
So, the training on some of the direct messaging that we've been doing, my wife helps me a whole lot. But the training on that and turning around something that I would never even think would be a lead, and getting that person to wind up in my office like the next day. I never would have expected that to happen. So these people, for one, they're not hanging up my phone system with phone calls. Like, we're doing it all through messaging on a platform that's available to everybody. And like, I never would have expected it to be that easy. And even when, Jesse was like, all right, you need to turn around and start doing this to these people, I'm like, that seems stupid. There's no way. And then the very first person that I do it on turns around and comes into my office the next day. I'm like, wow, this is ridiculous how this works. Never would have seen that coming.
Yeah. I mean, even if you just look at the trends that are going on now, a lot of things are moving to more text message based communication.
For sure.
Right? Less phone calls, less voicemails, and more text messaging. That's what we're really leveraging here, is this system in this way, which, makes sense on why it would work so fast. And I'm so happy it worked for you, not only in the long run, but literally right as you're about to say, hey, I don't know if this is going to work. Next day, patient comes in into your doors and you're like, all right, well, I guess we got to keep going with this, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, I literally got off the phone with Jesse and I'm looking at my notes that I'd wrote down for mine and his coaching call. And I'm like, this is so stupid. I don't even want to do this. And then, so I'm telling my wife, I'm like, all right, babe, here's what we have to start doing. And she does it. And the very first one, she takes a screenshot and sends it to me. She's like, I set an appointment on the very first one. And I'm like, that's insane. That can't be possible. And then she literally showed up. She's excited. And here we go. So, I mean, it's, shouldn't have been a lead ever to begin with, and is like super hot market lead when we get done. And that's crazy.
So, what would you tell people that are, or actually, hold on, before I get to the next question, like, how many appointments are you guys booking right now? More than you were before without this system?
So, I mean, we weren't booking any for my weight loss and my nutrition because we weren't marketing for it anymore. And unfortunately, on the platform that we're talking about, you're not supposed to be, like, you can't, on a business page, you can't market for weight loss for it. Yeah. So, I mean, I really thought there was no chance that weight loss would even work in this, with this platform. But, I mean, it's been working for 3 months now and doesn't look like it's slowing down. So on my, I'm just trying to think of lead wise, I should have been ready for that. So currently the numbers that I have, we've had 100 people come through my system, actually come through the door or do a live Zoom call with me. Wow. So that's 100 leads in 2.5 months. So, I mean, that's crazy. And that's just the ones that actually said yes. So we actually had more than that, but I don't really have that number available. I should have had it ready, but there's 100 that have said yes. Wow. In 2.5 months. So, I mean, that's
100 yeses in 2 months. So like 50 yeses in 2 months. 50 yeses in a month.
Yeah.
Not including the no's. All people walking into your practice or talking with you on live on Zoom.
A live Zoom call or in-person consultation in the office.
That's crazy, especially just to think about how this is just like within a 1 month span, like turning on a light switch, like this happened.
Just like that.
Yeah.
No, it's like I still look back and think this is not even possible.
Wow. And so what would you tell somebody, right? Sitting on the fence, thinking about like, is this even real? Should I even do this? What's habit-based lifestyle about? And they're sitting on the fence wondering if they should join our program, implement this system into their own business or not. What would you tell those people?
Well, and it's funny that you would ask that because, Jesse has utilized my success and utilized my voice to actually help on some other people, because when people have that kind of question, like, how do I know if this would work for me? I mean, how do we know that this is what Jesse says it is and what all these other people says? He's like, you know what? Call this guy and talk to him. So I've actually made this phone call with 3 different people where they've contacted me because Jesse wanted them to talk to me. And Jesse asked me ahead of time, hey, do you mind? I said, I don't mind. And I've talked to him. And I've told them, pretty much what we've said right now, just my results up to this point. But then I've told them that I literally have put it pen to paper trying to think about what industry it won't work for. And I can't think of an industry that it won't work for. And so then I've just told them that I'm a simple-minded person, even though I complicate things, but I'm very simple-minded, and I like things to be simple for my patients. I like things to be simple for my staff. And I cannot even explain how simple this process is to utilize. And now that they've got the actual website up where the training is even more, it was simple before, but now it's even more simple to access the information. Yeah. Like it's so professional. And yet so simple. I can't stop talking about it. I mean, by the time the phone calls are over, either they're in or they're just tired of listening to me. So, really, again, the simplicity is the thing that I harp on the most, because a lot of business owners, their biggest fear is adding on a whole lot of time onto themselves. They're already time poor. So they're like, I don't want to add on more crap for myself. Yeah. And I don't want to have to be trying to come up with a bunch of content all the time. I don't want to have to shoot a ton of live videos, so they're all worried about that kind of stuff. And I tell them, listen, your staff, your wife, your grandmother, if she's got time, anybody can do this. Your 16-year-old kid knows how to run social media better than you do. So anybody can do this in the background for you. It does not have to add time onto your plate. So I come up with some of the content about a week in advance during my weekly prep. I try to prep the next week, but then pretty much my wife and my staff handle everything else after that. And so it's not adding a ton of time to me other than new patients in the door that I have to handle. And I'm okay with that. That's money. So, so the fact that it's simple enough that other people do it for you is what's brilliant to any business owner that I would talk to.
Heck yeah. So simplicity is the number one thing that you tell people. You tell them, hey, I can't even think of an industry that this wouldn't work for. Right. Yeah. Wow. Well, first of all, thank you so much for spreading the good name, habit-based lifestyle. And you're right. Like, this literally works for any industry, and it wouldn't work for anyone who just doesn't want to do the work. Like, that's it. Right. For sure. So that's why we call our businesses habit-based lifestyles, just simple habits, follow those habits, and boom, adding literally $30,000 to your practice, your practice's bottom line in as little as 30 days. Yeah. Yeah. So, Steven, before we go, anything else you want to add before we go?
So, this is my first time to physically talk with you, Caleb, but it's already been, you're top notch, just like every other of the other coaches that I've talked to in the program. It's always so professional. It's always such an easy process. So, even though I didn't know you moving into this particular interview, it was done top notch as well, just like it is with Jesse or with Coach Nick or with whoever. So I think, every time I meet somebody new, even clients in the HBL stratosphere, It's like such a professional, outgoing process. I mean, and it's so easy to be able to speak your thoughts, and it's such an open environment. I can't wait for the next phone call.
Heck yeah, I can't either. So thank you so much for sharing your experience here with us, Steven. I really appreciate it.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me on again. I'm looking forward to more results, and maybe we can do another one later.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, let's crush some more results. And then let's bring you back on and let's talk about the next level of your business. All right.
I can't wait. I can't wait, brother.
Heck yeah. All right. We'll talk soon, Steven.
All right. Thanks, Caleb. We'll talk soon.
The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewing.